easy ride.
Yeah. Well, considering who West Ham could have drawn today, you know, any of the clubs from Championship down to League Two, this is one of the tougher draws they could have got, in the same way QPR and Millwall being paired together. So it could be quite a test for West Ham, but maybe that's a good thing with what they've got coming up.
Oh, exactly right. I think it's a good game for them. Initially, I thought it was a league game until someone told me what was going on. And I think it's a great idea what they've gone and done. A League Cup game on a Saturday, first game for everyone. I think it gives a chance, if you're at home, to fill the stadium up a little bit as well. And for West Ham, it's a little bit of a tester of what they're going to be against, because they're going to find a different kind of opposition here. A lot of players, this is a learning experience. Jared Bowen has got a general idea still in his head, because he's been through it when he was at Hull initially, but there's play, and as well Walker Peters was a top player for Southampton in that league as well. So there's players out there who know about it, who want to get out of it very quickly.
It's a big mental shift, isn't it, to go from being the team that maybe is the underdog towards the end of the season anyway, to suddenly being the team that everyone wants to beat.
Yes.
And you've got to be able to accept that challenge pretty quickly.
Oh, you do, but then you've got, as I mentioned to Emma, you've got to find the players, the right players, Andy, to be out playing it. If you're playing for Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, those kind of clubs, you need the right players to handle the experience of playing, who can go and just switch off and do a job. West Ham need that in abundance.
Paul Parker, the former England international, is alongside me, and we're almost ready to go here. West Ham against Portsmouth in the Carabao Cup first round. Mads Hermansen in goal for the Irons, Kyle Walker-Peters, Konstantinos Mavropanos, Max Kilman and Ollie Scarles is the defence. A midfield of the 20-year-olds, Mohamedou Kante and Lewis Orford, either side of Edson Alvarez, the Mexico international. And then Pablo and Tati Castellanos, the January signings, alongside Jared Bowen in attack, who captains the team. We're off and underway here on a beautiful summer's day in early August, and a full stadium here in East London for West Ham United against Portsmouth in the League Cup. For Portsmouth, Nicholas Schmidt is the goalkeeper, a back four of Terry Devlin, Regan Poole, Connor Shaughnessy and Zach Swanson. A midfield of Rocco Shine, Luke LaRue and Adrian Segicic, and then up front Luke Brooks-Smith and Ibu Adams alongside Colby Bishop, the captain. And it's Portsmouth on the attack early. This is Brooks-Smith, the New Zealander, trying to get a cross in. It's blocked, and it will go behind for a corner early on for Portsmouth, who showed that if they get the chance, they're going to be pretty direct, going straight towards goal.
Well, I mean, for them, it's just one of those, at this moment in time, it's a bonus fixture for them, because everyone's expecting them to get beat. They've just got to go and have a go pump. It's going to be a tough season for them. Finances ain't great. They're kind of scraped at this moment. They're scraping players in, and they're just looking for any kind of performance, and maybe they might get a win.
Here comes the corner towards the back post. They were all charging in on that. It's eventually cleared out towards the touchline by Walker-Peters, but that was a dangerous delivery. So ball has gone out on the far side, and it will be a throw-in for Portsmouth, trying to work it back to their right back position. Now it's played all the way back to the halfway line, and it's moved out to the left-hand side to Swanson. Swanson coming forward. Good start this from Portsmouth. Dangerous delivery in. It's come off at Mavropanos. It'll be another corner to Pompey.
Yeah, I mean, he's just come forward, Swanson, and Jared Bowen has run with him, but he has not tried to affect him with the cross. He's allowed him to cross the ball into that near post without even really sprinting towards it and saying, I'm going to put you under pressure. He was very tentative, Swanson, when he got the ball, thinking Jared Bowen's going to come and close me down here, but Jared Bowen didn't, and he just stepped forward 5-6 yards and just swings it in.
Another corner
better.
Coming in here. It was a good delivery first time. This is a pretty good delivery again, but actually just a little too far. If anyone was coming in on the edge of the 6-yard box back post, they would have had a free header there, but they'd all gone sort of surging towards the middle or the near post, and it sails harmlessly out in the end for a goal kick to West Ham. But Portsmouth have started well. 2.5 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yeah, well, they've got West Ham pinned in. They've got 2 corners out of it, so the manager will be happy that they've gone and done that. One thing as well that they've got to get used to as well, West Ham, is the refereeing as well. it's going to be a different kind of refereeing they've got to get used to.
Here goes the ball upfield for West Ham, over the head of Bowen. And now drops in the midfield. Alvarez just pokes it out to Scarles on the left, the FA Youth Cup winner with West Ham. And great day for the club when they beat Arsenal away 5-1. Plays it back infield, and West Ham will build again from the back. All the way back to the goalkeeper. And it will be Hermansen to send it out to the left-hand side. Flicked on up the touchline. And it's worked out by Portsmouth. They've headed it out through Devlin for a throw-in to West Ham, who move up the left-hand side. On the bench for the Hammers, by the way, today, Areola, Ward-Prowse, Malik Diouf, Veltman, Earthy, Casey, Golombekis, Meyers and Olamide. And for Portsmouth, Bielica, Knight, Swift, Matthews, Waddingham, Bailey, Maresi, Kenny and Dia. Played out from the back by Nicholas Schmidt, the goalkeeper from Austria. Back to him now, with that huge banks of Portsmouth fans behind him. And it's eventually out off Walker-Peters for a throw into Pompey.
Just seeing now already is that West Ham at the moment haven't really been in the ball. When they have gotten the ball, they've been under pressure, aggressively under pressure. A different kind of pressure what they're mostly used to. One thing they've got to do, they've got to really move the ball quicker than what they are. They're trying to be slow and precise. It's not going to work for them. They haven't really got the players to go and do that. We've seen Burnley overplay and do it under Scott Parker from the Championship, but they haven't got those kind of players to do that.
Ball has dropped on the left-hand side of the attack for Portsmouth, and it's the youngster Brooke Smith who works it back into their own half. Quite a slow start this from West Ham, and it's worked through here to Bishop. He's broken away, but he's been adjudged to have fouled the last line of defence in Mavropanos, and it will be a free kick to West Ham. But that was a bit of a worry there.
It was a little bit. I mean, for Mavropanos to go down so easy. I think there was a push. I saw his arm come out. It wasn't very good, the replay, to be honest. Really didn't really show it, but I could just see Bishop's arm was locked, pushed out straight. So it seemed like he pushed him over. You can see they've had a few little moments like that, West Ham, where they're really squeezing up. Bishop, especially Bishop, onto the back, the two centre-halves, and seeing their strength and seeing if there's a bit of pace about them. You can see that Bishop's got a bit of pace and strength.
Paul Parker alongside me here at London Stadium in the sunshine. And despite all the doom and gloom at the end of last season, Paul, it's an amazing what a summer can do. There's been such a great atmosphere of people coming in here today.
Yeah, there is. I think everyone is just enjoying to see a little bit of real football.
Slipped over the top for Tati Castellanos to chase. He's just offside as he nodded that back towards Pablo. And although it was passed back into his own net by the left back Swanson, who put his head in his hands, flag was up.
Oh, he did as well, didn't he? He had that little moment there, and then he suddenly thought himself, oh no, I've got no need to worry about it. The keeper had just stepped forwards.
No VAR today as well, Paul.
Well, it's
back to real football.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what the fans will get. They've all been caught saying they're fed up with VAR, and they're going to have a season full of it, obviously, except for how far they may go in cup games. But it'll be interesting what they say at the end of the season about not being involved with VAR.
Tackle comes in again from West Ham in the midfield. It's gone out off a Portsmouth player.
Saying that there's a good chance they could say after one or two games what they feel about not having VAR.
Yeah. Throw in for Walker-Peters on the right-hand side. Another former Southampton player, so I doubt he'll get the best reception today from those away fans. Just another hold-up. There's a couple of players having a bit of an argument here. I think it's Alvarez for West Ham, and could be Adams for Portsmouth. They're just having a bit of an argument still. Referee is Adam Hertzeg, who's just come over to have a word with both of them. He's never refereed West Ham before. Throw in from Walker-Peters. It's Alvarez trying to help it upfield, but it's intercepted by Pompey. And Rocco Shine, the Estonian international, will play it back into the heart of the Portsmouth defence. Now they're going to work it up the right-hand side to Terry Devlin. Very much the team that finished off their pre-season, Pompey, over in Germany. They had a 0-0 draw to finish their preparations. And now they're ready to get going for real here in the League Cup, with the championship season stretching out in front of them. They sent 1,500 fans over to Germany, Portsmouth, for that final pre-season friendly.
How many?
1,500 to enjoy a few steins in the sunshine. Maybe a bratwurst. Flick up in the air from the West Ham midfielder Mohamedou Kante, but the referee's already penalised West Ham for a foul on the left back Zach Swanson.
Just haven't got going at all, West Ham. I can't remember Bowen having a touch of the ball so far. Tati has been running around but hasn't touched the ball. Pablo hasn't touched the ball. They haven't done anything. They're not allowed to be able to play from the back or show any composure at the back, because Portsmouth just haven't let them. In this situation, if you're a Pompey fan, you want them to score a goal.
Yeah.
Because then that will ask a bigger question to West Ham.
Is this partly, how maybe they want to sort of get... Here goes Bowen. While we're talking about that, he's going to try and break away down the right, but he just showed too much of the ball to the Portsmouth defender. But he's made a mess of his clearance, and Bowen's onto it again. He's being harried by 3 Portsmouth players, though, and it's eventually out for a throw into West Ham. I was just going to say, with the league season coming up, will Nuno have them set up today in the way that he will want them to play throughout most of the season, rather than treat this as a cup tie where you just throw caution to the wind and have a right go?
I'm going to say he has, but I think this is a game, when you're in this position West Ham are in, you've got to win every game.
Yeah, get some confidence as well in terms of the
going into the next game against Burnley away. But the other side of the coin is that they've got to get something, a performance and a result, for that Charlton game and for the rest of the season. These fans haven't come here just to play poor, see you play poorly and lose at home to Pompey and thinking, it's a cup game, it doesn't matter. They all matter when you're a championship side.
I was just wondering, he might be sort of looking at how they'll set up in the game against Burnley away, and whether he's just sort of getting it into their heads a bit, the way they're looking in this early stage. Bowen's free kick is short and easily headed away. And it's kind of symptomatic of this first 10 minutes from West Ham. It's really not been what you might have expected with this big crowd here and the optimism. Bowen, though, trying to break in behind here. Another sliding tackle has put it behind for a corner to West Ham. And that's brought a good reaction from the crowd here at London Stadium.
Yeah, but it certainly has. It needs something. Bowen at the moment, he's been outpaced a few times. His touch isn't right. And he's the one who's got to lead them, not just because he's the captain, because he's the main focal point of their attack. Well, he has been over the last few seasons in the top division. They need him to start finding a bit.
Here comes the corner from Bowen. It's a brilliant delivery. The header is on target, but saved. Caught right in front of his face there by the goalkeeper, Nicholas Schmidt. It was brilliantly met, and a superb delivery as well. I think Alvarez maybe who got the contact on it. He just didn't go either side of the keeper. The power was there. All it needed was an angle either side of the keeper, and it's a goal.
Certainly did. That's where you'd want Mavropanos to be there, to be perfectly honest. He would have definitely had maybe more power, and he'd have been heading it, I should say, either side.
Well, it was a really good opportunity set up by Bowen. 11 minutes gone. West Ham 0, Portsmouth 0. You're listening to BBC Radio London live here from London Stadium in the first round of the Carabao Cup. Players spread across the back by West Ham. Now upfield to Walker-Peters. And Walker-Peters has just broken in behind, but he's just offside, and we've had one excellent chance for West Ham so far. A brilliant delivery from the corner from Jarrod Bowen, which was headed straight at the goalkeeper by Alvarez. Apart from that, Portsmouth have actually been the team in the ascendancy in the early stages, much brighter from them. West Ham have looked a little bit stodgy in the early stages, despite the fact they've got this massive crowd here today. 12 minutes gone, it's West Ham 0, Portsmouth 0. Free kick then to Portsmouth, and Schmidt will take it, and he floats it upfield out towards the right for Portsmouth. Across comes Kilman and meets that well to head it out into touch, the former Wolves defender, and it'll be a throw in to Portsmouth on the far side of the field. They've obviously brought in a lot of money with the sales of Somerville and Fernandez, Paul, but
yeah,
we haven't seen a lot coming in just yet.
No, not at all.
What
I mean,
do
as
you
well,
make of that?
well, they got 10 million, didn't they, for young Potts as well?
Good point, yeah. He's gone to Bruges, hasn't he, in Belgium?
Yeah,
that was a strange one as well, because I thought he was one that would be, he'd actually given an interview not that long before saying he was ready for the challenge of the Championship. He felt that was what would kick him on even further, after getting into the team last season.
Yeah, well, just maybe something that he couldn't turn down, and the opportunity to play in the top division for such a young boy when he wasn't going to play regularly here. He's most experience-wise and what he's going to learn, because it'll be a different football.
They did well in the Champions League, Bruges, didn't they, last season?
Yeah,
so.
that's what he gets. He gets the offering of European football. That might be the bit that he might need to get away from here, where he's been from the age of 6, and just maybe that's a good chance that will take his game forward.
I think a lot of people looking at it, though, would have had him quite far down the list of players that would go, given that he played with Portsmouth on loan, didn't he?
He did, yes. I think as well Wycombe Wanderers as well. He played at.
And of course, his dad, very much a West Ham man as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one that's happened as well. So they've got a lot of money in the bank. You just wonder when they'll spend some of that, because they've brought in Joel Veltman from Brighton, but not a
I'm just wondering. I'm wondering where that's going to work out, really, because they've always got Walker. They've already got Walker-Peters for right backs. I believe that Wan-Bissaka will go. Just wonder where Veltman's going to play.
I wonder if, because I was speaking to the commentator for Brighton on BBC, Johnny Cantor, the other night, and he was saying he has played centre back before.
Yes.
And at this stage of his career, he's not going to be, as he described it, he's not going to be an overlapping fullback these days. Age 34, I think he is now. And it might just be that he's another centre back they can have, when they require it, or a right back if they're just looking to shore things up. He won't play every game, he said, but a very good character apparently. He'll be a good guy to have around the dressing room.
Oh, he has got an edge to him as well, by the way. He definitely has got that edge to him. Yeah, I've seen him a few times, and there's a little bit. Sometimes he can be a little bit sinister.
Yeah. Well, played in Holland for Ajax as well. Came through there before playing well over 150 games for Brighton since his arrival in English football, and he has signed up. He's on the bench today, the Netherlands international. Up the left go Portsmouth again. It's a terrific run this from Brooke Smith, who's got real pace, the teenager, and it's a good recovery from Walker-Peters, who's going to have a battle on his hands there.
He has, but he made a decision initially just outside the box to make a challenge, and he realised that he wasn't in the best position, so he's had to work even harder to get him on the byline. So there's one thing definitely, is that Walker-Peters can match him for pace, maybe surpass him. But and this lad, and some rarity is actually maybe in this, watching football in the Championship, we're going to see people want to get round the outside of fullbacks rather than cutting inside all the time.
Here comes the corner in towards the near post, flicked away by West Ham, comes out towards the halfway line. There's Brooke Smith again, this 18-year-old from Whangarei in New Zealand. He's tried to play it in towards the edge of the box. The pass out from Bowen doesn't find Castellanos, but now he's breaking clear. 2 attempted tackles on Bowen. He's escaped both of them, dribbling towards the touchline. He's eventually lost his balance, didn't actually have his boot on properly after 2 attempted tackles on him. This is one thing that's going to change as well for Bowen. He's going to get kicked a lot more this season.
He is, and normally if this was Premier League, the boot comes off, they'll give a foul because the boots come off.
Absolutely.
And the linesman's there, the referee's there, well, it wasn't a foul.
What I like about Bowen is because of the way he's come through, the route he's come through.
He knows it.
Yeah, so he's not complaining. He knows that that's what's going to happen this season. He's going to get a bit of treatment, isn't he?
Yeah. And that lot of it is down to, it's called respect.
Yeah, but also in that run there, he's just got a bit of extra skill and pace at times, and some of the players just try and get the challenge in and misjudge it, and that'll happen quite a bit as well.
To be honest, we saw one of them kind of swing a leg and slide, and Bowen's hurdled him. Yeah. That would have been a foul.
Yeah, it would have been.
That's how mad it is.
Off balance.
And it wasn't a foul. It was a genuine attempt to get the ball. Bowen was quicker to it, knocks it past. That's the hurdle.
He's got the advantage there because he's got away from the player. But yeah, Bowen will have to get ready for quite a lot of that, I think, as the ball is played across the back by Portsmouth. Shaughnessy gives it to Regan Poole. Now it's out to the right to Devlin. Blue skies overhead here in East London, Stratford. I don't know if you heard, Paul, but they've put forward a bid for the 2029 World Athletics Championships to be held here at the Olympic Stadium from 2012, of course. It's had Diamond League meetings and the World Championships back in 2017, but they've gone for the Worlds again in 2029. And now we'll find out if that bid is successful in the next month or so. West Ham have now thrown their support behind the bid. That was one of the sticking points because it will be held at the start of the season, which is problematic, of course, for West Ham if they want their fixtures to be played here at the same time. But I guess it's only a couple of weeks that the Athletics will be on. But that is something that is in the background here at the start of this season. This stadium where I watched Usain Bolt win those 3 golds. I asked him, Paul, because he'd been speaking to some youngsters.
Are you name dropping now as well? You asked him.
I asked him because he'd just been speaking to a load of youngsters at a school here near here. It was in South London. And he'd been saying you've got to do your classes, you've got to eat healthy, get your sleep. And after it, I said, you say that bit about eating healthy, but I'm sure you were eating chicken nuggets before your 100 meters in Beijing. And he goes, do you know what I always say? Do as I say, don't do as I do. But he was something else, wasn't he? And he was right at the peak of his powers at those London Olympics, but some of the best athletes in the world potentially coming here again if that bid is successful. Anyway, back to the football here in West Ham. Had a couple of moments with Bowen primarily, but it's not been an electric first 20 minutes or so.
Can I ask you a question as a kind of more of a stat man than me?
Yeah.
Have we had a shot on goal yet?
The header from the corner.
Right, okay.
Not a shot as such.
No.
No, is the answer. Here comes the ball into the box. It's floated over everyone. It's actually going to be kept in right on the touchline by Portsmouth next to the corner flag. Now they're going to work across as well. It's floated in just over the head of Brooks Smith. West Ham still haven't cleared it. Bowen's back there in his own penalty area helping out. Clips it away up the touchline. That's chested down in the midfield by Rocco Shine. Here he is on the ball again. The man from Tallinn in Estonia plays it back towards the halfway line, and Portsmouth are going to float one forward again towards Colby Bishop, the 29-year-old former Notts County and Accrington Stanley forward. Shine is on the ball again, flicks it into the penalty area, desperately trying to latch on to this is Adams, but eventually Hermanson's onto it, and then there's a shove from Hermanson because he was being knocked around a bit by Ebu Adams, who has been up for the battle so far, hasn't he? He's putting himself about a bit.
Yeah, but why does he go down like an idiot? Why doesn't he just stand his ground? He's done something a bit silly there. And
I don't know what he's complaining about either.
Look, I mean, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Absolutely embarrassing what he's done there. He's made a fool of himself by going down like that.
Yeah. Ebu Adams, born not far from here in Greenwich, Gambia international, 30 caps for his country, arrived from Derby back in January for the second half of last season for Portsmouth, which saw them successfully stave off relegation and stay in the Championship for another season. Ball looped back to his goalkeeper by The centre-half Shaughnessy, I don't think his goalie will thank him for that one. That wasn't the easiest to deal with, but Schmidt managed it in the end.
Oh, I don't think Tati or Pablo have touched the ball.
No.
They haven't touched the ball.
They've got to do more, though, haven't they?
They've got to at least try and run in. Someone's got to run in behind this, Paul. Not one of them has made a run in behind. The fullbacks have tried, not so much Scales on the other side.
Yeah.
But Walker Peters has, but no one else is running behind.
Well, this is a little bit better from Pablo. He did well there just to dart in behind and just touch that ball off, but Portsmouth are quickly onto it there. Midfield snapping in quickly, the likes of Segicic, Shine and LaRue there, giving Portsmouth a bit of a foothold in the game in that midfield. Now, like a slightly leading elbow there from Mohamedou Kante.
I think it was more of a head. He's gone with his head.
Yeah, and the Portsmouth defender's gone down.
There's definitely no elbow there, but it's just a head.
A bit of a wrestling match there. He's a bit loose with his elbows there, but neither of the Portsmouth players looks that hurt by that. And it will be a free kick to Pompey. And we're having a hydration break.
Oh, no.
You're kidding me.
Really?
Honestly, I'm looking around the crowd and virtually everyone I can see shaking their heads and holding their hands out, laughing, saying, "What, are we doing this here as well?"
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm not really getting it, to be honest, really.
Some of the players haven't even run about enough to
No, they
a
haven't.
hydration break.
They haven't. It's absolutely...
How long are we going to have this into the season?
I don't
then,
know,
Paul?
but I think some people are going off to get a lager.
Well, I don't blame them.
They might not come back. This is... wow.
Well, it was very unpopular at the World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's, what is it out there today, about 29 degrees, or have you got one of those
27.
clever watches? 27.
It's not clever because I'm wearing it. You can't have a clever watch with someone who's a bit dumb.
27 degrees.
He's telling me 27, but...
It doesn't feel as hot as, you know...
No, I don't know what's that. I mean, we're getting a little bit... It's a bit humid here,
Yeah,
isn't it?
It is humid, but...
But, I mean, if you're directly in the sun for a while, I'm sure you've... Saying that when I walk from the station.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt when I got here and I had to wait to get me...
yeah, accreditation.
Yeah, honestly, I could feel it pouring off my spam head.
But...
haven't got the throw to hold it in like a sponge.
We need to find out, though, Paul, is what the regulations are, like what temperature they say that they're going to do this, and how long it's going to go on into the season. Because are they just going to say we're going to do it for the first few weeks of the season, or is there a temperature threshold? Because I honestly did not expect that today.
No.
I mean, you know, when it was a few weeks back and it was 38 degrees. Now you can understand it. Then you shouldn't even play football in that, I don't think. But I mean.
During the summer holidays, during the summer holidays.
It's not pre-season though, is it?
No.
I mean, you can understand it in pre-season as well, but
as a kid, you would do it. You'd go and play football in the park.
Yeah.
76 when it was red hot, you was doing it.
Yeah.
Well, no, you wouldn't have been.
No, but that's the summer that everyone's sort of talking about with regard to this sort of summer of drought, aren't they?
Yeah, but I'm one of those people that think that every 6 weeks holiday I had as a kid, it was always sunny.
Yeah.
That's what I believe, and nothing's going to change.
Playing outside.
Yep.
Yeah.
And coming home when the actual when the street lights come on. As soon as you had to be home before the street lights come on.
Right.
That's when you had a problem.
Know when they were going to come on?
Well, you didn't know really. Depends if the diode inside of it
started flickering.
All
right, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, get in before you get the slap round the back of your legs off your mum.
Well, we've got a free kick rather here for Pompey. 26 minutes on the clock. It's 0-0 between West Ham and Portsmouth on the opening game of the season for these two clubs. The first round of the Carabao Cup. West Ham twice finalists in this competition, without having won it. Here's a free kick for Pompey from the left. It's a good delivery, headed away though by West Ham from the edge of the 6-yard box. Back in it comes from Portsmouth. Segicic, who was the one who took that free kick. Now it's come out as far as Pablo. Portsmouth quickly regained possession though, and then the shot, as he was slipping, is sent way wide in the end of the right-hand post, and it will be a goal kick to West Ham.
Again, it's about Portsmouth, really. They're the ones who are causing the problem without any great quality in the final third. We've just seen that shot. It was just there, but again, he's taken a shot, but he was more concerned about trying to find someone's leg to touch to try and earn a free kick rather than concentrating on getting on to get a strike off properly.
There's a man down for West Ham there, just short of the halfway line. Referee's allowed play to continue, and he's getting back to his feet now, Castellanos. He looks absolutely fine. Now it's forward towards Bowen. Little flick from Bowen, and that's a Portsmouth player who's gone down.
Yeah, that was payback.
From Castellanos?
Yeah, payback from the one earlier.
Referee's blown his whistle, he's going to call him over, try and calm things down. Bowen has also come in to play peacemaker.
I just think Paul just stood his ground, that's all he done.
We'll talk about players or managers who play for both these clubs. Obviously, Harry Redknapp would stick out, wouldn't he? But Hayden Mullins, who's at Newport County today, is the manager at Newport County. They're playing Wimbledon today. He was with both of them, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yes, I forgot about it. Yeah.
Making his way in management now with the South Wales side. Down there at Plough Lane, one of the games that's kicked off same time as this one. Elsewhere, Queen's Park Rangers and Millwall doing battle. And that is live on 94.9 FM. It's 1-0 to Millwall, by the way, there at Loftus Road. Luke Cundall has got the only goal of the game so far. Millwall leading 1-0 at Loftus Road. And of course, a reminder that these games go straight to penalties, no extra time these days. Cambridge have knocked out Barnet. That was an earlier kickoff. 2-1. They won it in the end. Barnet had taken the lead, but Cambridge came back with 2 quick-fire goals. Neil Harris's side winning it by 2-1 to make it through to the second round. Last night, Wolves took care of Port Vale 3-0. Stevenage beat Wickham away 2-1, and Borough, a 1-0 win for them against Wrexham. Will Lancashire, the big money signing from Tottenham, scoring on his debut there for the Borough. Walsall beat Bristol City away on Thursday evening to get the Carabao Cup and the season underway. A bit of an upset to get the competition started. Aaron Presley scored the only goal of the game there at Ashton Gate. But plenty of games going on this afternoon. As I mentioned, Wimbledon, Newport is goalless. Barnsley 0, Wigan 0. Bradford also goalless against Rochdale. It's 1-0 to Peterborough at Bristol Rovers as Portsmouth come forward down the right-hand side. Bromley are trailing Reading 1-0 at home. Bromley in League One, of course, this season for the first time ever, up against the League One side this afternoon in Reading. Burnley 0, Notts County 0. Burton Albion 1, Blackburn 0. Cardiff 1-1 against Swindon. It's Crewe 1, Accrington Stanley 0. Lincoln are 2-0 up at Derby, looking at the Championship. Fleetwood 1, Chesterfield 0. Gillingham and Luton are 0-0. Grimsby 0, Blackpool 1, Leicester 1, Northampton 0. Orient and Oxford are goalless. Norwich 2, MK Dons 0. Preston and Huddersfield are goalless. Salford, Shrewsbury and Sheffield Wednesday Bolton also 0-0. It's goalless between Stockport County and Doncaster. Stoke Oldham 0-0. Swansea 0, Birmingham 0. Watford goalless against Crawley, and it's 5:30 kickoff for Charlton at Cheltenham this evening. Also 5:30 for Colchester, Southampton and Rotherham, West Brom. And good luck as well to any of our London teams who are getting underway this weekend in the preliminary round, the extra preliminary round of the FA Cup. The road to Wembley starts here. Ball up the left-hand side for Portsmouth. Cross attempted by Adams is blocked by Scarles. And it's going to be another corner for Portsmouth, who, despite the moments from Bowen, got to say Portsmouth have been on top, really, Paul. I think
they have been, without really being a threat, Andy, to be perfect. And it's not great, lacking a little bit of culture up front, really, but anything, if they were just to add something, that little bit up front, wow.
Here comes a free kick to the back post. That was watched all the way by Mavropanos, headed it away, well chested, down, and the shot, it's gone into the corner, and Portsmouth have the lead here at London London Stadium. It was a terrific hit from just outside the box from Adrian Segicic, and he has put Portsmouth ahead here in front of this huge crowd at London Stadium. It might have taken a deflection on its way through, but the Australian has given Pompey the lead, and their huge following from the south coast is celebrating wildly. It's West Ham 0, Portsmouth 1.
Well, I have to say in a way that they deserve it, just for the fact of they've been industrious. They've made a point of just keep going at West Ham without really causing that many problems. And they've just taken a shot at goal, which generally gives you an opportunity to score a goal.
It's come off Kilman.
Yeah, and it did. Yeah, and it did take a deflection. And it's Kilman, who hasn't had the best 18 months at West Ham, to be perfectly honest. Takes it away from the outstretched arm of Hermansen.
I don't think it had the power to beat Hermansen, even though it was coming through a mass of bodies. But the deflection
took
killed him, didn't it?
Took it a foot away from him.
Yeah, right into the corner.
Yeah, but I mean, West Ham have got to have a shot at goal, have an attempt, put the goalkeeper under pressure. They've had their corners haven't been good enough when they have got them, but in general play, in the attacking third, they've been absolutely awful.
In a way, Paul, the fact that it's happened 33 minutes in might just wake West Ham up a bit, because if it had come a bit later in the second half, they might not have had time to sort of rouse themselves. But it's kind of, they've needed a bit of a wake-up call, haven't they?
They have, yeah, and I just think he's got to spark it up at half-time, the manager. He's got to do something, because they've got no great drive in them. I mean, I'd like to see Juve come on the left-hand side to add a little bit of spark from deeper areas.
Obviously, he was at the World Cup, but maybe they've been bringing him back in a bit more slowly, given he came back in a bit later. But
you just want to play football after you've gone and done some of that. Get out there, and just play.
I thought he was great last season, actually, in a team that was finding it difficult. Of course, just 21 years old, but he's got a great future from what I saw last season. Well, Segicic has given Pompey the lead. The trial for a lot of clubs over in Europe, having come through at Sydney FC, the likes of Liverpool, City, Chelsea. He's eventually given the opportunity by Portsmouth, and he's got the goal here that separates the teams here at London Stadium. There's a man down for West Ham, just receiving some treatment on the far side of the field. I think it's Kante who's just been caught there, so that's going to just bring a bit of a pause in play.
So the thing about a lot of his players, his West Ham players who have been involved in the top division, they've got to understand now, every time they might get a little bit hurt, but if you're not really that hurt, you're going to have to get up, because staying on the floor is not going to entice anybody to get involved and get someone sent off. There's nothing there. Once the referee's allowed play on, or he's not blowing his whistle, I'm sorry, the game's going on. You're not going to get anything for rolling around and leaving your team a man light.
No. And at the moment, West Ham need that urgency as well. When someone's rolling around, it just takes more time out of it, really. And well, Segicic scored on his debut for Portsmouth this time last year against Oxford United in a 1-0 win, and he's got the first goal of the season this season as well for the South Coast side. So that's played upfield, Pablo controls it, and then it drops to a teammate, Orford. Now they've been caught in possession, and here go Portsmouth again. This is sloppy stuff from West Ham, but at least they've recovered this time, and Pablo's done really well to work back and win possession back for his club.
I think they've just got to change their way they're playing, West Ham. They haven't got the players to play in the way they want to play. He's offside there as well now.
So that flag is up. There'll be a free kick to Portsmouth. And dare I say it, Paul, as well, it just feels one of the big problems last season was, for me, a seeming lack of mobility really in midfield. To be able to carry the ball upfield, it always seemed a bit too slow and stodgy. And
He did until Fernandes got on it. When Fernandes, he added something different.
Yeah.
That's what they need. They need someone in that middle who can do that. Kante looked very good around the Fernandes, but Kante is struggling now because he hasn't got that kind of ball carrier, that playmaker in there to play off with at the moment. They are lacking that, and again they've got a week to try and find that, because they do need something. You know, as much as I've seen all the time, this squad we got will win the league, will do this. I'm sorry, there's a lot of experienced championship sides out there who are just going to add a little bit of an X factor to their game because they're playing West Ham. So you have to have something to first of all match it and then surpass it. They haven't got it at the moment, West Ham, and what we're seeing so far.
Just a bit more dynamism in that midfield at the moment. I mean, they've got the two youngsters in there. You'd think that they'd definitely have the mobility, but at the moment there's just not much happening between defence and attack for West Ham. Ball's gone behind for what West Ham thought was going to be a goal kick, but it appears the referee says it's going to be a corner. Another corner for Pompey in this first half.
Yeah, and he's done well. He's done really well there, Bishop. He goes for everything. He's one of those ones you just know he's going to be a minimum 6.5 out of 10. He throws everything into it, and you can see why he's the Portsmouth captain. Plays with his heart on his sleeve.
Well, here comes the corner from the left-hand side. We've had 38 minutes here at London Stadium, just ticking over to 39. And here comes another corner from the left-hand side, headed away by Bowen at the near post. And that'll be a throw-in to Portsmouth. That's the first poor corner, really, they've sent in, I would say. From Shine, the 23-year-old who was signed from Fredrikstad in Norway to join the South Coast side for this campaign. John Mousinho coming out to the edge of his technical area, the Portsmouth manager, as West Ham snapping it to try and win the ball back. Bishop has crossed it. Kilman needs to clear it. He's just sent that aimlessly out really to the touchline. I mean, I think obviously safety first, but he didn't look to even play it into space there for someone to chase. He just put it straight out.
Yeah, that's where they are now, West Ham. He wouldn't have done that last season or before, something like that.
Throw in taken by Portsmouth up the right-hand side. They lead by 1-0. Segacic giving them the lead. Australia youth international. I mean, grown up in Australia, but he's actually declared for Croatia at senior level, given family heritage. Here's Kante coming forward down the middle. He's tried to play it back to Walker-Peters, but he's sold him short. Brooke Smith is quickly in there, and the Kiwi has won his team a throw-in there. And I think that sums up most of the half, really. He's just wanted it a bit more there. Yeah,
but the thing about it, though, is Kante gets on the ball and he's looking for Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters doesn't make an angle for him. He just jogs along.
Yeah.
Just absolutely incredible.
Well, I think it's a bit deflating, isn't it, given the how many fans have come out today?
Yes.
And you'd expect the least that they would get was a team that was kind of fired up to say, look, we're going to give it a good go this season, and they've really not had that so far.
Well, I just think some of these players it's just a cup game, it doesn't really matter. It matters because it's the penultimate game before you go and play your league games, but it's a League Cup.
Yeah.
You can go through and maybe go and get the big boys and go up against them as you have done for many a season, but this time you're in a different division and you're going to have the opportunity. They just think, oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it has got very much a pre-season feel to it, I feel.
Well, I'll tell you what, they'll find out how serious the fans are taking it at half-time.
Here's Rocco Shine, he's going to have a go, and it's a great hit, and it's just kept out there by Hermansen. Kept it out down to his left and then jumped on it at the second attempt. See, the fans are just saying you're just sleepwalking into this.
Yeah,
at the moment.
I'm just seeing it there. Alford gets the ball, he gives it out there to Scales, and then he just steps forward. Instead of making an angle to get it back, he doesn't.
Finally some space out on the left for Scales to exploit. Kante, brilliant bit of skill. Can he find the cross? Castellanos! It's a goal back for West Ham, and a first goal of the season for the Irons. Tati Castellanos. What a beautiful finish it was after superb skill from Mohamedou Kante, and with 3 minutes to go to half-time, West Ham are back in the cup tie. West Ham 1, Portsmouth 1.
Well, I'm going to state the obvious here, Andy. That is the only bit of football we have seen from West Ham. The only bit. It's the first time Kante has been in an offensive position, and then he gets the opportunity 1 against 1. He beats his man easily to the byline. He pulls the ball back to the middle of the box, the 6-yard box, about a yard outside, and Tati just strokes it in with his instep, off his instep, and it moves to the left, to his right-hand side, away from the goalkeeper. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, lovely finish, wasn't it? He just made such a beautiful connection with the ball, just to use the pace on the cross.
Just a great contact, a full contact.
Yeah.
That's what they've done. So they still deserve not too much, you know. They've got themselves out of jail a bit, and the opportunity to go again.
Fair play to Kante as well, because that was a lovely bit of skill to get away from 2 defenders.
He's such a good player. He did it all last season, but was never given an opportunity.
Yeah.
Magassa played in front of him all the time. Maybe because he costs more money.
And there's an equaliser for West Ham, their first goal of the season, and it's Tati Castellanos with a lovely side foot finish from the cross from Mohamedou Kante, who did brilliantly, leaving 2 defenders in the dust, and then he sent in a wonderful cross for Castellanos, who did the rest. It's a couple of minutes to go to half-time, 1-1. So, just over a minute to go of the first 45, plus any added time. And we're back towards square. And it'll be interesting to see how that changes the team talk, because I imagine Nuno was going to stir them up a bit, but now they're back into it, and now they're looking for a second. Here's Bowen! Oh, what a goal! Jared Bowen! How about that? He stayed with the club, and they are pouring out their joy at that goal there from Jared Bowen. Brilliant strike.
Well, if you could have planned it, then maybe everyone would have stood with it, but it's come from nowhere, to be perfectly honest. It's just 2 bits of quality. One with an assist and the other one with a finish, to be perfectly honest. And it just says about Bowen, really. Oh, it takes a wicked deflection now. I think, was it off of Paul or was it off of Shaughnessy?
Well, there was a deflection of the earlier goal for Portsmouth. It just ran for Bowen on his left foot, and he's hit that from just outside the box. It's flown past the goalkeeper. And as we enter stoppage time at the end of the first half, West Ham 2, Portsmouth 1. And it's the captain, Jared Bowen, who has given West Ham the lead. Ball was on the edge of the penalty area. A teammate was about to touch it with his right foot. Bowen said, "I'll take over from here." And he lashed it into the top corner. And what a turnaround in the closing minutes of the half. West Ham 2, Portsmouth 1. All the way back to the goalkeeper for Portsmouth, who must be wondering how they're trailing here.
Yeah.
Ball up towards Tati Castellanos, chests it down, does Jared Bowen as it breaks to him, then Portsmouth win the ball back. Here's Segacic trying to break away, lovely bit of skill to get it to Shine, but then Bowen battling away with Shine. This is much better from West Ham. They're into every 50-50 now with much more snap and bite, and it's come out to Pablo on the right-hand side. Tati Castellanos trying to flick it back to him, but there was not enough on that pass. But again, they've come in quickly to put the pressure on. And fair play to Lewis Orford, the 20-year-old born in Havering, who's been with the academy since 5 years of age, who's getting involved now in the midfield battle. Forward come West Ham, it's Kilman up the left flank in towards Tati Castellanos, tried to flick it, Pablo coming in, it's come off the keeper and it's gone behind for a corner. Where's this been for 45 minutes?
Stop nicking my lines, will you please? I was just giving all the arm movements to come out of those words, and you go and say it. And do you know what? I'm going to answer that question. I just don't know, Andy. Yeah. I don't know. I've seen their best passages of play in the last 5 minutes and 2 minutes of added time.
Yeah. It's been a strange first half, but they've suddenly been stirred into life, and they could easily get another one here at the end of this half, the way they're playing. Bowen with the corner, punched away by the goalkeeper. Brooke Smith is going to look to try and break away here, and we've seen that he's got the pace and power to do so, but that was a good recovery tackle there from the West Ham midfielder Orford, who's also just grown into it in the last few minutes. He's winning a lot more tackles now, getting involved in the attacks. Portsmouth looking a little shell-shocked. Got about 20 seconds left of this first half, stoppage time. And Tati Castellanos and Jarrod Bowen have got them back into it. Not just back into it, they're in the lead. And there is the half-time whistle. And Portsmouth will be dejected. A lot of the West Ham fans had already made their way for a drink with 5 minutes to go of the half, because they just hadn't really seen anything to get behind. And suddenly West Ham burst into life with a great bit of skill from Mohamedou Kante, setting up Tasti Castellanos for a nice finish for the first goal of the season for the Irons. And then Jarrod Bowen, the captain, seeing the ball rolling across the edge of the penalty area, just walked onto it and smashed it past the keeper into the corner. And that gives West Ham a 2-1 lead after the earlier goal from Adrian Segicic, the Portsmouth midfielder. Paul, your final thoughts after watching that first half?
Well, hopefully a few of them have woken up and realised what it's going to be about, because this is just a dress rehearsal, and they need to really join in. They need to start the way they finish and understand every game is going to be played at a tempo. They're going to be closed down. People are going to respect them as a club and as a team, but I'll tell you what, they're not going to give an inch to them, and Portsmouth showed that. Actually showed that for about 38 minutes. They never gave them. They were going in at half-time 1-0 up, deservedly so. West Ham were going to get booed off, and all those players would have, a few of them may have been found out to the fact that they're not up to the task. But now they're 2-1 up, and we're seeing them. All of a sudden, they wanted to play their little 1 and 2 touch in little tight areas. They weren't doing that before. They weren't brave enough to take that on, because they knew what was going to come. But at the back end of it, they did it, because Portsmouth have been stunned at the moment. The manager now, he's got to work harder now to get them back on track and get them going again. Nuno, really in theory, got to have a little bit of a shout and scream up, in my opinion, and maybe make changes, because a few players haven't done it. It's all well and good living off the last 5-7 minutes, but they haven't done it.
That's the thing, though. They'll come back in and go, well, we're winning.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the way to be. That's not the way. You can't take, because it's been poor. Football's about winning, but to win games, it's about performances. And that performance, what they put in there, would mostly get in. If they put in performances like that, they ain't going to win many games in this league.
So what I can't quite fathom is, surely Nuno wouldn't send them out with that kind of placid or kind of passive approach, really, because they just didn't get into them. They didn't play it, as you say, at the kind of pace that you would need to, because in the Championship there's going to be people all over them every game they get, really. And the worry is that he kind of sent them out a bit like, well, just see how you go. That's how it felt.
Yeah, I'm no great expert or anything, but I can just sit and watch it, and I can just see that they're not going to survive playing like that with no play. You have to play. You have to, every time you go and play, and I'll take my difference, and I'm not blowing it up or anything. I go to Manchester United, and I go there, and I suddenly realise that when I go away from home, it's a different game from when I was at Queen's Park Rangers in the same division. Because everyone wants to beat you, and all of a sudden you're having to work that bit harder than what you did before, because you raise your game. I did it every time I was at QPR. We played Manchester United, we played Liverpool, we played at Tottenham and the Arsenal's big London derby. We even played Everton, because Everton then had just won two first divisions with the Peter Reeds and the Graham Sharps and them. So when you played those teams at home, we was bang, bang, bang. But when we played the Coventries and them, you lose that little bit. And that's the mentality of players. West Ham have to understand these players are playing against them. They're a big side in this division. They're a massive side. They're a massive, support-wise, they're one of the top sides when they were in the Premier League. Not many sides sell out their away support every single game. West Ham do that, and will do that in this division. So now they've got to realise that they are big fish, and everyone, like when they go to Man United, and they go and give everything because it's a big game. They want to cause upsets. Portsmouth want to cause one. League Cup or not, if they get a result here, Portsmouth, it's a big one.
So, he has indeed, Jared Bowen. That was the moment of the half, really. The fans poured out their love for him, given that he has stayed despite the relegation. He just walked onto a ball across the penalty area, just inside the D, and lashed it past the goalkeeper into the top corner. The goal followed very quickly on from Tati Castellanos getting the equaliser. A brilliant bit of skill from the 20-year-old midfielder Mahamadou Kante on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Perfect little pass across to Tati, and he did the rest with a side foot finish. But you have to say, up to that point, with about 5 minutes to go to half-time, West Ham had really been well below what you'd expect really from them, given this big crowd today and what they need to do this season. Portsmouth would quite easily say that they've been the better side in that first half without causing too many problems for Mads Hermansson. They were in front thanks to Adrian Segicic, the Croatian, who had a brilliant strike after a bit of chest control from the edge of the penalty area, but it probably would have still been saved because it was quite a far out. But there was big deflection off Kilman that took it past Mads Hermansson and gave Pompey a deserved lead. Earlier on, West Ham did have a corner from Bowen that was headed straight at the goalkeeper, but they had been pretty underwhelming. We were expecting Nuno to have to go in and read the riot act, really, but those two goals just before half-time have changed the dynamics completely on this game. So half-time here at London Stadium, it's West Ham 2, Portsmouth 1.
Half of that cup tie in all ways that you can hear us on BBC Radio London. The commentary will start on DAB if the penalty shootout here hasn't been concluded by that point. I did see a League Cup penalty shootout that went all the way round, all 11 players, and then had to start again. Paul Mortimer.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Let's hope that doesn't happen today, but it is going to be decided on penalties, this Carabao Cup tie.
Looks like they've decided.
It looks as if, well, both managers...
It's the Millwall end.
And it is the Millwall end. That is where the goalkeepers are heading. The other players of Queen's Park Rangers and Millwall just lining up on the halfway line. It is the longest walk, isn't it, Paul? Did you take penalties?
Very early in my career at Charlton. We played in the League Cup, I think, and it went to penalties, and it's scary. Let me tell you, Emma, it's scary.
It looks like it's going to be
I was going to say
Millwall to start, is it? The referee's just having a word with both goalkeepers before this penalty shootout gets underway.
It's about putting you... I'm guessing that's about feet on the line and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't like the stuttering penalty kick, to be honest, because you're trying to make the goalkeeper come off his line, and I don't think that's fair.
If you stand still, okay, they've gone with...
Well, Jake Cooper.
Jake Cooper.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
wow.
Jake Cooper, the Millwall captain, will take the first penalty of this shootout. So
he's not known as a penalty taker, is he?
Piers Charles is the Queen's Park Rangers goalkeeper. Jake Cooper steps up and scores. The Millwall captain takes the first penalty of this shootout, and he gives Millwall the lead.
Calm, assured, always knew he was going to score. Oh, that's Ilias Chair.
Yeah.
Ilias Chair.
The unrecognisable Ilias Chair.
Ilias Chair.
To take the first penalty for Queen's Park Rangers. So Lucas Jensen replaces Piers Charles in goal. Ilias Chair for the home side. Millwall have scored their first penalty of this shootout. What will this spot kick be for Queen's Park Rangers? And it's saved. Ilias Chair's penalty. It was on target, in fairness, but it was saved by Lucas Jensen.
Well, it's a savable height. That's the problem you've got. If the keeper dives that way, he's saving it because of the height it was at. If it's lower, keepers don't, they don't dive low. They just dive to one side and then fall. So that is.
I think that's Mark Sykes, isn't it?
It's Mark Sykes, yeah.
So Mark Sykes comes up for penalty number 2 for Millwall, the new signing. On his debut from the penalty spots. Sykes scores! Millwall have taken 2 penalties and scored 2 penalties. They lead 2-0 in this penalty shootout at the moment. So Cooper and Sykes have scored. Is this Vale?
It's Vale.
Yeah.
Harvey Vale.
I think Harvey Vale is now preparing to take the next penalty kick for Queen's Park Rangers. Already behind after that Ilias Chair penalty was saved. So Vale for Queen's Park Rangers. Oh, and it's another one saved! Vale sees his spot kick pushed away by Lucas Jensen.
That's a better save. That is a much better save because I think that's a decent penalty. It's still a savable height. It's a decent penalty though. Really, really good save. Really good save.
So 2 penalties taken by both teams.
This will be Negley.
Millwall have scored both of theirs. Queen's Park Rangers have had their 2 saved by the Millwall goalkeeper. This is Camille Negley to make it 3-0. Oh, and his is saved.
Terrible pen.
Stays at 2. Negley's penalty is saved.
Saito next.
Saito next for Queen's Park Rangers.
It's not a good pen. That wasn't. I mean, listen, the keeper goes the other way. You say Negley, oh, how cool and calm that is.
Yeah.
If the keeper dives the same way, people are going to be going, what are you doing? Just smash it.
2-0 to Millwall at the moment. Saito to take Queen's Park Rangers' 3rd penalty of this shootout. Saito, and it's another one saved! Saito is denied as well. Queen's Park Rangers cannot find a way past Lucas Jensen, the Millwall goalkeeper.
It's not a good penalty. Yet again. Poor penalty. Not struck to either side really. It's just one of those that was very easy to save.
So this is
Arconte.
This is Arconte.
Tariq Arconte. I think he scores. It's all over.
I was going to say, if he scores,
yeah.
Queen's Park Rangers do not have a way back. They do not have enough penalties left. So,
it's a great save.
And it's saved.
Great save.
Millwall had scored their first 2 of this penalty shootout, but now Negley and Arconte have had penalties saved. So Queen's Park Rangers
as Poku
hanging on as Poku comes up.
Must score.
Has to score here. If he doesn't score, then Queen's Park Rangers are out. Poku to give Queen's Park Rangers a chance.
It's
it is saved!
It's a terrible
Every
penalty.
single one of the Queen's Park Rangers penalties is stopped by Lucas Jensen, and that means that Millwall will be heading through to the 2nd round of the Carabao Cup. It is 1st round misery again for Queen's Park Rangers. It was Luke Cundle who put Millwall ahead. Queen's Park Rangers giving themselves hope with a late corner that went in via Mark Sykes to take this game to penalties, but every single one of the Queen's Park Rangers spot kicks saved by the Millwall goalkeeper, and it is Alex Neil's side who progress in the Carabao Cup. We will hand you to London's So it has finished here with Millwall winning 2-0 in the penalty shootout, and well, Queen's Park Rangers, credit to the Millwall goalkeeper, but the QPR penalties were poor.
Yeah, they were savable ones. Yeah, I've got to say, all of them were poor pens, if the truth be told. Savable for the goalkeeper. It's a lottery penalties, isn't it? You know, if your penalties aren't good enough on the day, then you lose. I mean, credit to QPR getting themselves back in the game. You know, and it's a shame that they just couldn't get across the line. But Millwall move on, and that's it.
So Millwall go through. Barnet already out. Lots of our other London sides kicked off their Carabao Cup fixtures at 3 o'clock, including West Ham hosting Portsmouth, 2-1 up at half-time at London Stadium. Full commentary coming up of the second half on 94.9 FM, as well as DAB, with Paul Parker and Andy Rowley.
Thanks very much indeed, Emma. So disappointment for QPR and Barnet, but Millwall will be into the second round of the Carabao Cup. And will West Ham be joining them? At the moment, they are en route to go into round 2, but there is work still to be done here at London Stadium. They were given a rough ride in that first half by Portsmouth, who took the lead, but 2 goals just before the break from Tati Castellanos and the captain Jarrod Bowen have given them the advantage going into the second half of the game. James Ward-Prowse is still out there warming up amongst the substitutes as the players are led out for the second half by Jarrod Bowen. And this is how West Ham will line up for the second half. Matt Hermanson in goal, a back four of Carl Walker-Peters, Konstantinos Mavropanos, Max Kilman and Ollie Scarles, a midfield of Lewis Orford, Edson Alvarez and Mohamedou Kante, and then Pablo and Jarrod Bowen, the captain either side of Tati Castellanos. As for Pompey, Nicolas Schmidt, the Austrian in goal, a back four of Terry Devlin, Regan Poole, Connor Shaughnessy and Zach Swanson, midfield of Adrian Segicic, Rocco Shine and Luke LaRue, and then Luke Brooks-Smith and Ebu Adams, either side of Colby Bishop, the captain, up top. On the bench for West Ham, Areola, Ward-Prowse, El Hadj Malik Diouf, Veltman, the new signing, Earthy, Casey, Golombekis, Meyers and Olamide. And for Pompey, Bielica, the goalkeeping cover, Knight, Swift, Matthews, Waddingham, Bailey, Moresi, Owen Kenny and Dia. So we're almost ready to go for the second half. The referee, by the way, is Adam Hertzeg, and alongside me, Andy Rowley, for this live commentary on BBC Radio London, BBC 5 Sports Extra. Oh, I'm just noticing, Paul Parker, that 2 players from either team are literally doing a standoff there on the halfway line. I'm not sure what that was all about. It looked like Pablo was eyeballing one of the Pompey players. I don't know if they were having a bit of fun with that, but we're off and underway in the second half. West Ham in the claret and blue shirts, white shorts and white socks. Portsmouth in the yellow shirts today, the blue shorts and blue socks, and they've brought thousands upon thousands up from the south coast in support of their team this afternoon, and they were given the lead by their Croatian midfielder Segicic, but as I say, Tati Castellanos and Jarrod Bowen have given West Ham the advantage, an advantage we felt that they probably didn't deserve at the end of that first half on the balance of play, but that's what quality can do for you, I suppose. And I'm sure Nuno Espirito Santo has let them know they'll need a bit more than that, not just today, but throughout this season against opponents like Portsmouth, who they will meet home and away in this upcoming championship season. West Ham go to Burnley in their first game of the league season a week tomorrow, before facing Charlton here at home in what will be a great atmosphere as well, I'm sure. Massive crowd here today for the first round of the Carabao Cup. I'm delighted to say, alongside me, Andy Rowley, is the former England international, Premier League champion and FA Cup winner, Paul Parker. And Paul, one of your old clubs knocked out there on penalties in the League Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it was come across, the penalties weren't great, but when it does get to that bit, anybody goes through at this moment in time, I think you'd accept that you're out first time, but you still want that little bit, that opportunity to go on and play one of the bigger boys. That's what you want, really, and I'm sure Rangers want that as well. But it was the way it's come across, it was a decent run out for both sides, really, to get tuned in like that for a start of a new season.
So another little skirmish in the midfield. We've seen plenty of them this afternoon. It's a free kick given West Ham's way, and Edson Alvarez, the Mexico international, is standing over it. And the ball is about to be sent up field by West Ham. It's Kilman who had an unlucky deflection when the ball flew into the corner for Pompey's goal. But West Ham now are leading and looking to try and add to the advantage they've got. Walker-Peters helping it to Bowen. Little 1-2. Bowen pulls it back. It was a great chance for Tati Castellanos, but a superb block, a last-ditch block from Portsmouth to get the ball away upfield to Segicic, their goal scorer, but it's brilliantly won back by Kilman. And here come West Ham again, and it's Walker-Peters bursting forward. Good ball into the box. Lovely little turn as well. Now it's swept across, and the goalkeeper has had to save that at his near post and push it behind for a corner to West Ham. Already better from Hammers.
Yeah, well, that's how you start it after something that was quite poor for 38 minutes. That's how you come out and start the second half, just like that. Gets the fans on side even more so, because they've seen that you've realised your mistakes, you've lacked effort, you've lacked drive, you've lacked tempo, and you've gone and shown something inside the first 2-3 minutes.
So the fans just making their way in again, a lot of them who've been out to get some refreshments. In comes the corner from Bowen, headed away by Portsmouth. They'll keep the pressure on here, though, will West Ham. Bowen trying to get round the first defender, but then Rocco Shine comes in and gets the ball away. And it's upfield towards the halfway line. Beautiful day here in East London as Portsmouth send the ball in looking for Colby Bishop, their centre forward. Can't quite do anything with that. It's gone just behind him, but they keep it in play on the right hand side, and it's played back into the heart of their defence to Regan Poole, and he's now going to spread the play out to the left hand side. Half the pitch bathed in sunshine at the moment. We were saying at half time, Paul, that it is quite muggy, isn't it?
It is muggy, very much so.
Up the right they go, Portsmouth, but no one had read that pass, and it's all the way through to Mads Hermansen, the Danish goalkeeper, formerly of Brøndby and Leicester, who's in the team ahead of Areola again at the start of this season. As West Ham play it out in defence. Bowen playing it to Walker-Peters, who's on a bit of an overlap there. Former Southampton player playing against Portsmouth is going to send that forward to Bowen. This is a real chance if he can work across here. Tati Castellanos! It's another one for him! And a third for West Ham. The fans are jubilant. This is just the start of the season they wanted now. A very low-key first 40 minutes or so, but they've really turned it on in the last 10 minutes either side of half-time. And Tati Castellanos set up by Bowen. And they are ripping Portsmouth apart now, those two. 50 minutes gone. West Ham 3, Portsmouth 1.
Well, that's what comes about when you get a bit of drive out wide as well. Now Bowen has done more at the start of this game than what he did in the start of his half and what he did in the first half, to be perfectly honest. And he's initially there at the start of it. Then he makes that, what they call it, underlap inside of Walker-Peters, initially made an overlap to get on the ball, and then he puts the ball in, and now Tati has had an early touch of the ball off his head, where he's very strong in the air, but he's got himself an area in between the two centre halves to score a great header. And the fantastic thing about it as well is that the game's going to start straight away rather than waiting to see if anyone can take the goal away.
Yes, good point. You can actually commentate on a goal and not have that fear that it's all going to be
absolutely fantastic feeling that is.
Yeah.
I think even more so for you, Andy.
Yeah, there's been so many of the last few years where you think you've witnessed something amazing and then VAR rears its head. There's been a change for Portsmouth. Thomas Waddingham is coming on. And they suddenly find themselves 3-1 down when, with 5 minutes to go to half-time, it looked like they were going in with the lead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think who's come off.
Yeah, well, we'll just work that out. It's on the right-hand side of the midfield.
Right-hand side of the midfield, number 7, look at it, is it? Not number 10, not...
Has Segicic gone off?
No, he's there. pass. Oh, they've got an overload here.
Yeah, here they go again. Pompey, left-footed drive, and Hermanson holds that at the second attempt.
Do you know what? No, is that him in there in the middle? No, I think you're right, Andy.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to go off, but I think it is.
Yeah, it is
Segicic. I don't know if he got hurt trying to win the ball back a couple of minutes ago. Here goes Walker-Peters again down the right. He's proving a real outlet at the start of this second half. He slips slightly there on the edge of the penalty area. Just works it back to Orford. His cross isn't the best. Comes to Alvarez, who's encouraged to shoot. I can't really remember him shooting very much in his time at West Ham. Oh, and he's gone in pretty heavily there. Now that's the sort of challenge as well that would be reviewed with VAR, but there's no VAR as we mentioned here this afternoon, so it is going to be a free kick. Well, as we mentioned earlier, lots of games taking place across the country in the first round of the Carabao Cup this afternoon, including for our London sides. We've already seen QPR and Barnet knocked out, Millwall knocking QPR out, Cambridge doing for Barnet. How are Wimbledon getting on against Newport County? Izzy Gilligan is watching.
It's AFC Wimbledon 0, Newport County 0. It's been a bit of a stop-start beginning to the second half. We had a lengthy head injury check on Kyle Cameron, but he's back on the pitch now and someone else is down. It's kind of all over the place as both teams trying to settle in here, but still goalless. AFC Wimbledon 0, Newport County 0.
Well, what about Bromley against Reading? Ryan Matthews has been watching this one.
Still Bromley 1, Reading 1 here at Hayes Lane. Bromley had the first shot in anger. Mitch Pinnock firing over within the first minute of the second half, but it's followed the same pattern of the first, really. Reading dominating and showing good class down their right, but still no more goes to show for it. Bromley 1, Reading 1.
Thank you very much, Ryan. And Dave Victor, as always, is following the Orient home and away this season for us here on BBC Radio London. It's the O's against Oxford this afternoon. Dave has the latest.
58 minutes gone, it's still goalless here, and it's very tight. It looks as if both sides are beginning to struggle in this very, very hot temperatures as Jack Curry tries to head clear from the edge of the Oxford United penalty area. Finn Stevens lays the ball into the path of Abiro. It's now with Idris El Mazouni, and it is Leyton Orient 0, Oxford United 0, as El Mazouni's shot goes wide of the target.
Thank you very much, Dave. We'll keep you posted on all those games for you in this second half from here at London Stadium. 54 minutes gone. It is West Ham 3, Portsmouth 1. They've forced a corner though here, have Portsmouth, and it's been a decent response from them.
It has, and as mad as it seems, Andy, they go and score a goal now or in the next 10 minutes, the whole thing changes again.
Yeah. Paul Parker is the voice you can hear alongside me, the former England international. And here comes the corner from the right-hand side. It's whipped into the near post, headed up in the air by Bowen for West Ham on defensive duty there on his near post. Now they've got a chance to break out if Kante can send this forward quickly. He's sent it for Pablo to chase, but as it went past him, he just wasn't quite up to speed to keep it in on the left touchline, and it's gone out for a throw-in to Portsmouth on their right-hand side.
The ball should have gone to the right-hand side to Tati. Yeah. That was the pass. He's thrown his arms up after it had gone to Pablo.
The one thing was he had to release it quickly. That was the thing, because they were just going to get a tackle in and the moment would be gone, but maybe just picked the wrong flank, as you say.
Yeah, but that's where your midfield player, your creative midfield player, who would have seen that picture early, would have seen that pass, should have been, maybe would turn around and say, and he expects someone to be making that run. And just going back to what you said, talking about Walker-Peters, where he is, we've seen more from him attacking than what we did in the whole of the first half. He's getting into better areas now in attacking third, where we were seeing a lot of him at the back end of last season, because he was quite integral in that back four that would almost giving West Ham the chance to get out from where they were. Him and Disasi were very important.
With a bit of detective work, Paul, I've found out that Luke Brooks-Smith, who I think was one of the brightest players for Pompey in that first half, the young winger, he's the one that's gone off.
Is he?
And it's Waddingham on. Segicic is still out there. He's just moved a little further forward on the right, I think.
Is that him on the floor then?
There's a player down for Portsmouth, which is why we've got a bit of a delay.
No, I can see him. He's the one talking with the referee now, Segicic.
Yeah, so let's find out who it is that's down. Could be the centre forward Colby. There's someone getting treatment, and it's going to be a couple of minutes this, I think, before it is sorted out. I'll just run you through some of the other scores here on BBC Radio London and BBC 5 Sports Extra. The Carabao Cup first round this afternoon, and Millwall beating Queen's Park Rangers 2-0 on penalties. Cambridge United knocking out Barnet 2-1 after Barnet had taken the lead at the Abbey Stadium. As you've heard, it's Wimbledon 0, Newport 0, Wigan 1-0 up at Barnsley, Bradford beating Rochdale 1-0, Peterborough 1-up at Bristol Rovers, 1-1 as you heard between Bromley and Reading, Burnley 1, Notts County 1, Burnley is where West Ham go a week tomorrow, Burton Albion 1, Blackburn Rovers 0, Cardiff 2-1 up against Swindon at home, Crewe 1-up against Accrington Stanley, Derby trailing Lincoln 2-1, Fleetwood 1, Chesterfield 0, it's 2-0 to Luton at Gillingham, 1-0 up Blackpool are at Grimsby, Leicester 1, Northampton 0, Orient still goalless against Oxford, Norwich 3-1 up now against MK Dons, Preston are trailing Huddersfield at home by 1-0. It's Shrewsbury 1-up at Salford City, 0-0 between Sheffield Wednesday and Bolton, Stockport County 1, Doncaster 1, Stoke have taken the lead against Oldham. It's Oliver Norburn own goal that has given them the lead. Swansea 0, Birmingham 1, Watford goalless against Crawley, and some 5:30 kickoffs. Charlton get their season underway away to Cheltenham, Colchester against Southampton, and Rotherham versus West Brom. We're still yet to have this treatment concluded. Referees finally come over to the touchline just to say, are we going to make a substitution here? It's a Portsmouth player who's been getting this treatment all this time. John Mousinho's come over to have a word with the fourth official, and two substitutes are now coming out for Pompey. It looks like Maresi is going to be one of them, and the other one is going to be Owen Kenny. And the player who's getting all that treatment looks like he is hobbling off now. And it's the player who only just come on, actually. It's Thomas Waddingham.
Oh.
He's only just come on, and he's already off with that injury. So it was
fleeting.
Yeah, he was getting all that treatment. And Swanson is coming off. He's going to be replaced by Owen Kenny at left back, while Maresi is coming on for the injured Waddingham. And LaRue is another player to make way as well. Luke LaRue, the 26-year-old from Stellenbosch in South Africa. Real rugby territory that. But he's playing for Pompey in the Championship, having signed from Värnamo in Sweden a year ago. And it's a throw-in on the right for Terry Devlin to take for Portsmouth. Here he is on the overlap, receiving the ball back, curling cross coming in, punched by Hermansen. Kante's tried to deal with that, but he's headed it straight to a Portsmouth player inside the penalty area. In comes another cross from Devlin, blocked by West Ham. Now there's a chance to break out, but the referee has said that there was a foul as they were trying to play it upfield on the break there, West Ham. And I think they got away with that a bit, Portsmouth.
I think they did as well.
Regan Poole didn't look like that bad a foul, or even a foul at all, actually. But given as a free kick, and Portsmouth back on the attack, trailing by 3-1. 2 goals from Tati Castellanos, 1 from the captain Jarrod Bowen for West Ham. And we've just ticked over past the hour mark here as Portsmouth move the ball about. Across their back line they go. It's a bit of a loose pass there, which they have to go back and deal with through Regan Poole. Now it's floated upfield for Colby to try and head on. That's Orford being dispossessed in the heart of the midfield for West Ham. Portsmouth on the attack again through their substitute Kenny. Now it's flicked into the penalty area, and Segacic was trying to run onto that, but it was shielded very well by the West Ham defender Mavropanos, and it's out for a goal kick to West Ham.
Yeah, it's just gone pretty flat at the moment, which suits West Ham in the position they're in. Doesn't suit Pompey, but they've made a lot of substitutions in a short space of time. I mean, we must have lost, at least 5 minutes there, mustn't we, with all that kerfuffle going on?
West Ham unbeaten in pre-season. One against Colchester in a behind closed doors friendly. Emphatic win 5-0 over Stevenage. Then they drew away at Southend United, Rangers and FC Magdeburg, which is where they were last weekend in the sunshine in Germany. And Nuno Espirito Santo was beaming at the pre-match press conference. Our first game, as I mentioned, away at Burnley a week tomorrow. Twice runners-up in this competition in 1966 and 1981, a year after their triumph in the FA Cup. And they look like they're set fair for the second round as things stand, because as well as Portsmouth played in the first half, they didn't trouble Hermansen too much apart from the deflected shot that led to their opener. And now West Ham, with 3 goals in quick succession either side of the break, have given themselves a great foothold now to put themselves in the hat for the second round. 63 minutes gone. You're listening to BBC Radio London and 5 Sports Extra. It's 3-1 to West Ham. Free kick to Portsmouth just inside the West Ham half of the field. And it's going to be a raking pass into the box. First header was missed by Alvarez, but it turned out that was no one from Portsmouth latching onto the ball just behind him, and it goes out on the bounce for a goal kick to West Ham. And the former Leicester goalkeeper Hermansen will leave it for Kilman to take.
He will pass it to him.
Yeah, quite right, Paul. That's how they do it.
You'd have thought I'd seen it before.
Oh, and what are they doing here? West Ham playing it around a bit at the back. Mavropanos was caught there as he just dallied a little bit.
Yeah,
in
but
possession.
I don't know why he's flapping his arms for, because he put, at the end of the day, he got away with it in the end.
He did. Here's Alvarez in between the 2 centre-halves, playing it up the left touchline. It's just kept in by Scarles, the 20-year-old left-back, who's come through what they call the Academy of Football here. Into the box comes Kenny for Portsmouth. Can he tee up a teammate? No, he sent it straight to a West Ham player. Orford gets it away with a bit of help from a teammate, and now Kante is bursting over the halfway line with that long stride of his. The former Paris FC player gets it back in field, looking for Tati Castellanos, but Portsmouth have got a foot in and 1 possession back, and now they're breaking up field over the halfway line. Down the right-hand side they come. It's going to be kept in on the right-hand side by Adams. Then a foot in from West Ham takes it as far as Devlin. Devlin out to the right to Kenny. Still Portsmouth providing plenty of energy as they're trying to get a way back into this game. It's broken across the box for Kenny, and it was an air shot. That could easily have hit the target if he'd made a good connection there. And now West Ham are trying to break away themselves. Bowen is claiming a handball there as he flicked the ball up to try and get it past one of the Portsmouth midfielders, and he's got the decision from the referee. It's a free kick to West Ham just short of the halfway line. So let's find out what's happening elsewhere again, and we'll go first of all to Izzy Gilligan, who's seeing how Wimbledon are getting on this afternoon in their cup tie against Newport at Plough Lane. Izzy.
It's very exciting here, but it does remain goalless. AFC Wimbledon 0, Newport County 0, but Nathan Bishop has saved a penalty conceded after Ogundere committed a foul in the area. New signing Shaquille Gwengwe stepped up to take it for the visitors, but sent it straight at the Dons goalkeeper Bishop, who made the save, keeping things level and really waking up the home fans, who had a brilliant reaction. AFC Wimbledon 0, Newport County 0.
So just a reminder that these games will go to penalties if they're level after 90 minutes and stoppage time. No requirement for that at the moment here at London Stadium after the recovery from West Ham after they went behind. But Bromley and Reading could be heading that way. Let's find out how that game's going in the second half with Ryan Matthews.
It's still Bromley 1, Reading 1 here as Reading counter down the right-hand side. It's been a slew of changes on the hour mark for either side as both have an eye on the league starting next week. As Lisby breaks towards the box, it's cut Lisby, but he does well. And Shamal, penalty given here. It's a foul on Lisby. Apologies from breaking from the update, but a penalty has been won by Reading. It was Lisby inside the substitute Richard Taylor on this near side, the right, for Reading. The foul was given. It did look a little bit soft, but the penalty has been given for Reading, and a chance to reinstate their lead here at Hayes Lane. It's Bromley 1, Reading 1.
Right, we'll be back with you, Ryan, to find out what happens with that penalty attempt. Let's quickly go to Dave Victor, though, who's watching Leyton Orient against Oxford.
Line. Pepper comes across. It's still goalless here with 72 minutes gone. Leyton Orient have just made a triple substitution, and one of the players coming on is Jakes Cabra, signed yesterday from Oxford United as a replacement for Don Ballard. It is Leyton Orient 0, Oxford United 0.
Thanks, Dave. Let's go straight back to the game between Bromley and Reading. Ryan Matthews.
Ball is on the spot here in front of the Glyn Beverley stand as Lewis Wing, the Reading captain, faces up against Shamal George, all in yellow in the Bromley goal. 3 strides backwards, lines it up right-footed, and off the base of the post. George went the wrong way, but it didn't matter, and Bromley cling on here. It's Bromley 1, Reading 1.
Wow, we've had a few bad penalties this afternoon, and that stays 1-1. That's a tough tackle coming in there.
That was
Amlo.
brutal. That was brutal.
He's been sived down there by Adams, and the referee's come back for a previous free kick, and he hasn't even looked at that one.
No, absolutely incredible.
Wow, that was a tough tackle, let me tell you. Pablo was off balance, and he got taken out there by Adams. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. Adams has certainly been up for the battle.
The referee's got to deal with that. He has to deal with that second one.
Hasn't he?
Yeah, he's absolutely left him alone. That was brutal what he's done there.
Right, well, it is a free kick anyway to West Ham. By the way, Mohamedou Kante just came off with some treatment while that whole passenger play was ongoing. He has actually rejoined the game now. And West Ham have this free kick about...
I can't believe he's only just talking to him.
And he's actually sort of saying, just calm down a bit, but he took no action. He decided to give the free kick for the earlier foul, and then he wasn't interested with what happened after that.
No.
Well, he sent him away now, Adams, who's been fired up this afternoon.
Diouf is coming on, I think.
Yeah, El Hadj Malik Diouf, back from the World Cup. Did you watch one of his games? Were you watching?
Yes, Senegal,
France.
Yeah.
Good game, that one, Paul.
It was a good game. It was.
A couple of brilliant goals. I love the one from Mbappe from miles out. Here comes the free kick, sent in by Orford. It's headed away by Portsmouth. And West Ham will go back towards the halfway line.
What's he doing, right?
Just 20 minutes left now on the clock here in the sunshine in Stratford at the former Olympic Stadium, which might well host the World Championship of Athletics in a few years' time if they're a bit successful. That's a good bit of skill there from Tati Castellanos, but he couldn't quite get the shot away before he was crowded out by 2 Portsmouth defenders, and the ball has been cleared by Pompey.
He doesn't need this now.
What's going on now? It's the hydration break. Oh, of course. As you can hear, the crowd are not massive supporters of this.
Given how much time we've lost already with this game being stopped, I think we've lost. I'm going to say we've lost 7 minutes already.
Yeah. Well, that's never taken into account, though, is it? They could have all had a hydration break at that point, but.
And a lot of players had drinks 5 minutes earlier when there was that injury, and they all come across and had a drink then.
That's right.
So some of them are going to be drinking too much.
Is that a thing?
No, I just made that up, to be honest, really. I'm trying to incite something, I think.
Well, Paul, I'm sure you've been impressed with what West Ham did with the quality they had either side of half-time. I mean, we were both reasonably scathing about how they played the first 40 minutes, but those 2 players, Bowen and Castellanos, have combined really well.
Yeah, I mean, they're the 2 players where you look for it. You may be looking for Tati to score more, but you are looking a lot from Jared Bowen. You are looking. He's made the point. He wants to stay. He wants to lead them back, which will just put him, massively in a great position, leading West Ham back to where they believe they should be in the top division. But he's got to go and show it, and he's got to do it week in, week out. you know, and in this division, the coaches are so tactically aware of everything that, you know, when you're in this division, that's why there's always shocks and surprises, and you just don't know sometimes where your next win's going to come from, even though you're playing so well. Dead ball situations are so important in this division as well.
Hearing there's been more penalty drama at Plough Lane, so we'll be back there shortly. But Portsmouth knocked out at this stage last season in the Carabao Cup. Also third round of the FA Cup, 18th place in the Championship last term, which they would have been pretty happy about, I think, given that they've not been back in the Championship that long. Let's go to Plough Lane and find out about the penalty drama between Wimbledon and Newport County. Izzy Gilligan?
It's not penalty drama, but it's AFC Wimbledon 0, Newport County 1. They did have that penalty save, but then a fantastic strike from Yaya Bamba. He cut in from the left and sent it top right corner from the edge of the box, and that would have been tough for any goalkeeper to save, even after saving a penalty and feeling on a high from that. Nathan Bishop just couldn't get there, so the Dons on the back foot there. 76 minutes played, and it's AFC Wimbledon 0, Newport County 1.
So work there to do for AFC Wimbledon. Just seeing a couple of substitutes getting final instructions. Looks like Ward Prowse and El Hadj Malik Diouf are about to come onto the field. A few other players who've played for both these clubs. I was thinking back: Jermaine Defoe, Gary O'Neill, David James.
David James, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, give me one more.
Matty Taylor.
I can give you one.
Go on.
Teddy Sheringham.
Oh, yeah, very good. What a player he was, Paul.
Yeah.
What a player. Scarles heading the ball away at the back for West Ham. Now that's a good bit of interplay though from Portsmouth, if they can just keep it in, but it was asking too much of Terry Devlin, the fullback, who will run and run for Pompey, but it was just too far beyond him, and it's out for a goal kick to West Ham. Floodlights are twinkling on here, Paul. This is a strange option. Is that the hydration breaks? It just happens whatever. Edson Alvarez is making way. And El Hadj Malik Diouf is coming on. So I don't know quite how they're going to change that up, because it's not really a like for like. And Mohamedou Kante is coming off for Ward Prowse. He was struggling a little bit, Kante, but you're a fan of his, Paul, and he's had a pretty good game.
Sorry?
You're a fan of Kante's?
I like Kante. I mean, making that goal, that says a lot for me, but he needs someone else to play with in there. Every time there wasn't enough around there, and I think the lad Alford, he's not going to be a regular in this West Ham side, right, in this division. Okay. They need someone in there a little bit more creative, someone who would go looking for the ball all the time.
West Ham, those finals that they did lose, West Brom in 66, Liverpool in 81. And they lost in the second round last season, which is where they entered the competition, away at Wolves. You might remember they threw that one away, really.
They did, yes.
Didn't have a nice trip to Wolves last season.
No, the league one was really awful.
Worst.
Yeah. And you think about that, anything they could have taken away from there would have made such.
Yes.
Everyone can say that, but you look at that one poor performance, but all you needed was just a point.
Yeah.
Against a side that got relegated as well.
Yeah. Ball has been fired upfield by Portsmouth, but again it's beyond the front man Colby Bishop, and out for a goal kick to West Ham. Thomas Souček, by the way, still missing. He injured his ankle at the World Cup representing Czech Republic, so he's still to come back. Portsmouth have got a few players that they're still to bring in, although got a couple of players that have been making their debuts today. Shine, one of them. Also Brooke Smith. Here come West Ham on the attack. That's Bowen trying to get the ball into the box. There is Shine on his debut just to intercept that and send Portsmouth away on a counter-attack upfield, and that's a neat pass forward over the halfway line. Back come West Ham to try and deal with this. Orford is trying to get there, but it's in the cross and cleared away by Mavropanos, and the Greek international gets it out for a throw into Portsmouth. 76 minutes on the clock here on BBC Radio London and 5 Sports Extra. It's West Ham 3, Portsmouth 1.
Yeah, the game virtually is just going away from Pompey. The kind of West Ham have nullified them. They haven't really been a massive threat going forward since they got their third goal, but the onus is on really Portsmouth to go and get that second goal, because that would really change the game if it did happen. Without a shadow of a doubt, West Ham would then have to up it, and they need to get the tempo up a little bit, because you just can't allow you to lapse and then try and switch on if you're asked to. And you need to keep yourself ticking over, get control of the ball, still look to turn them round because they're pushing forwards. They haven't done that enough.
Portsmouth still trying their hardest to get back into this. Segacic is on the ball, the goal scorer for them in the first half, when it looked so much better for the team from the south coast. Here's Shine trying to get a cross in on the left-hand side. It's come off the West Ham defender Mavropanos, and it will be a quickly taken corner for Portsmouth in front of their mass ranks of fans in the Sir Trevor Brooking stand behind that goal, away to our right-hand side here at London Stadium. Ball forward from Pompey, intercepted by West Ham, but they've immediately got it back, and this is Segacic sending in the cross, and it's held by Hermansen at his near post. There was a player darting in, I think it was Colby, just in front of him. Any touch there could have taken it past the goalkeeper, but Hermansen has it, and then he sends it out to Scarles on the left-hand side, who goes back to Kilman, and then they play it out to Ward-Prowse on the edge of the penalty area. Neat passing this from West Ham to get themselves upfield. Scarles playing it to Bowen. Offside. Lovely pass, but yeah, you're right, Pablo had just strayed offside, and that will go all the way through to the Portsmouth goalkeeper. First ever visit to London Stadium this for Portsmouth. Never been here. The last time they played West Ham away was way back in September 2011. Wow. A 4-3 win for West Ham that day. Matty Taylor, who, as I mentioned, played for both clubs, Henry Lansbury, Mark Noble and Carlton Cole getting the goals for West Ham that day. And unless I'm very much mistaken, that was the year
FA Cup.
The season they were promoted to the Premier League. West Ham 2011, 2012.
I'm trying to think, when was Pompey FA Cup final?
2008. They won it. Yeah, 2010 they got back to the final, I think, from memory. Very different times, as you said, Paul, with the squad that was assembled there at that time. They've been fan-owned in the time since then, and were almost ruined, but have found themselves back at championship level with new investment from America. As they're about to make another change, John Swift is about to be introduced, the midfielder, but he's going to have to wait until a break in play. West Ham on the ball. It's Scarles, who was in that FA Youth Cup winning team for West Ham back in 2023. Worked his way into the first team for West Ham last season when Al Hajj Malik Diouf was away. And he's started today in that left-back position, although El Hajj Malik Diouf is on now, ahead of him down that left-hand side of the pitch, as part of a three-man attacking trident behind Tati Castellanos. Portsmouth sending the ball out from the back. They've got 10 minutes to try and find 2 goals at least to give themselves any chance of making it through to the second round. The ball goes forward, headed away by Mavropanos. 2 centre-backs that you feel will cope reasonably well in the Championship, Mavropanos and Kilman.
Well, definitely Mavropanos, just sort of way you can put, and to be honest, everyone saw the best of him last season, so he can play Premier League, but when it comes to physicality, offside again, I think.
Oh, and that's goalkeeper's just hesitated there as the ball was sent over the top for Tati Castellanos to chase, but he was expecting the flag, and he does get the offside decision. Colby Bishop is going to make way. Part of the promotion team in 2024. Colby Bishop, and over 160 games for Pompey now. and he's going to make way for John Swift, who comes into the midfield, and they'll push one of the other players a little further forward. It's going to be Maresi, I think, who they're going to send into the centre forward position. So let's get round the grounds again in the closing stages of our other featured games in these 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Carabao Cup first round. AFC Wimbledon against Newport County. Izzy Gilligan.
Yes, at the moment it's AFC Wimbledon 0, Newport County 1, and the League 2 side have the better of the League 1 side here at Plough Lane. Wimbledon trying to find an equaliser, but Newport County making that quite difficult for them on this hot day in southwest London. 5 minutes of normal time remain, and it's AFC Wimbledon 0, Newport County 1.
Thanks, Izzy. Time running out there for Wimbledon at home. Segacic, the goal scorer for Portsmouth, almost got another one there. His shot had power from the edge of the D, but good block from West Ham to keep him at bay on this occasion. So 5 minutes to go at Plough Lane. We've got 8 minutes to go plus stoppage time here at London Stadium. We'll be at Hayes Lane in just a second, but Portsmouth on the attack again here with Devlin, pulling the ball back for a cross from the edge of the penalty area, and it comes from the centre-half Regan Poole. It's cleared away by West Ham, and we can find out how Bromley are going against Reading with Ryan Matthews.
6 minutes plus stoppages remaining here at Hayes Lane. It's still Bromley 1, Reading 1. Bromley have just had the chance to put themselves into the lead, but Kamal Grant on loan from Millwall heads over the bar from an Ethan Archer cross. Still deadlock as we approach the end of this one. Might be penalties here at Hayes Lane. It's Bromley 1, Reading 1.
Thanks very much, Ryan. And how about the O's? Leyton Orient against Oxford United. Dave Victor.
2 goals in 3 minutes have transformed this game. 88 gone. It is Leyton Orient 2, Oxford United 0. It's the substitutes who combined in the 85th minute. Springett finding Demi Mitchell the slightest of touches, and surely Idris El Mazouni 3 minutes later has ensured that it's Leyton Orient who progress into the next round. It is Leyton Orient 2, Oxford United 0.
Wow, well played, Leyton Orient. That was looking like what could be quite a tough cup tie, but what a way to start the season if they get that one over the line, the O's. And Dave Victor will tell us if anything happens in those closing minutes, but as things stand, Leyton Orient could be joining Millwall in the second round of the Carabao Cup. West Ham looking to be in the hat as well, and they have got a 2-goal advantage with 6 minutes of the 90 to go. Portsmouth have it on the left-hand side, a little slip there from Rocco Shine, the Estonian international, and it's going to be Bowen to take over. Ball has moved across the pitch to El Hadj Malik Diouf, the Senegal international, moving it to Orford. Orford, there was another member of that FA Youth Cup winning side, beating Arsenal 5-1 in the final. He was on loan at Stevenage last season. He's been with the academy since 5 years of age, an England youth international from the under-16s all the way up to the under-20s, so a lot of talent. Getting a chance to start here this afternoon at the start of the season. Here go Portsmouth. Great bit of skill and trickery, and then a flicked header which goes wide from the substitute Maresi, and it remains West Ham 3, Portsmouth 1. Paul Parker.
Yeah, well, I think we're just seeing here with this Portsmouth side, the one thing, they haven't got the quality of what most of these West Ham players got, but what they've got is high energy levels, and they've got a bit of pace as well. And West Ham are struggling with the pace because they're running past them quite easily, and they're flooding forwards, and they're causing problems because of it. And there's going to be, and that's the levels, that's the difference in the levels here, is that West Ham have to get more energy into their team, a little bit more tempo.
Yeah.
They're too slow, and they lose the ball, and they're not getting enough players around it. It's too easy for teams to get to the back four.
It feels to me, having watched today's game and just on the evidence of today, but also looking back at some of the games last season, they could do with 2 midfielders with that energy and playmaking ability that could really transform what they've got. I think there's a lot of other areas of the team where you'd say it's less necessary to do something, but it was always felt the midfield needed that last season. Here comes Diouf. Good ball into the box as well. Tati Castellanos on a hat-trick. Tried to be unselfish there and get that square to Pablo, but it was blocked and cleared away by Portsmouth. Promising attack down the left that. He looks quite good further forward as well.
He does. Diouf. He looked quite comfortable there, to be perfectly honest. He's run, he's gone short, and then to drag the player in, and then he's gone in behind him. The player slipped as well.
Another change coming up for West Ham shortly. Joel Veltman will be making his debut for West Ham shortly, as Kilman wins the ball back for the Hammers. Now Scarl's trying to find Diouf, who just didn't pick the right pass there, and it's intercepted by Portsmouth, who are on the attack again, looking to try and get the ball in towards Maresi, but actually they hold on to it in the left wing position. Now it's pulled back across the edge to the penalty area. West Ham get a foot in, and then there's a late challenge, and that'll be a foul on Ward-Prowse. Free kick, and he's still arguing, is Adams. He's gone into the book, and the referee's I think saying watch out, you could be off soon. He's not going to get his hat-trick, Tati.
Sorry?
He's not going to get his hat-trick.
No, he's not, no.
He's going to be replaced here by Veltman, who's going to make his debut. But that's just what you want as a forward, isn't it, Paul? You know, obviously it wasn't the best first 40 minutes, but he's there to score goals, and he's got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Day one.
Please give a big West Ham welcome to our new number 34, Joel Veltman.
See, now what's happened there is Tati's has walked off. It happened last night.
And it's a minute.
So the referee's done the arm signals to the assistant referee, don't let him on. They want players to jog off, and I think it's quite good, as long as all the referees stick to it, because they get these little smart ideas at the start of the season, and a lot they don't follow it through. They're not consistent with it.
So I tell you what, I noticed, I think it might have been Diouf saying to Tati Castellanos, you need to just hurry up getting off here, and he took too long. And Veltman was introduced, given the big warm-up by the hype man on the microphone, and then he's not even allowed to come on.
And a lot of people mostly don't know that. They're sitting there going, what's going on, what's going on? It's players, it's actually players being smart.
What a shot that is from the edge of the box from Portsmouth. It was Odin Bailey, the substitute. Hit that beautifully, didn't he, Paul, off his left foot?
Yeah, I think
it whistled past the post.
I think just by the keeper's reaction to it, I think he knew that it was going wide.
Fell a bit flat, that, didn't it, for Veltman?
Yeah, it's coming on now. But people going, what's happening now?
Yay!
Ironic cheers.
They've got to be on that, though, haven't they? You know, joking aside, Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, if the game's still live, you know, if it's 1-1 or you've got 1 goal in it, you can't afford to be sloppy like that.
No, you can't.
And players need to be really aware of that, because the manager will be aware of it, but he needs the players to be aware of it too.
Yeah, but you don't. I mean, all of a sudden you see the assistant one of the assistant ref. Here we go.
Bowen, lovely pass into the box. It comes. Couldn't get a shot away. Pablo first time, then does, and then it almost comes to Scarles, and it's cleared away by Portsmouth. Very nearly a fourth there, and Pablo's frustrated. He feels he should have had one.
Well, I mean, it was at an angle where you expect the goalkeeper to do something, and the keeper did do something. If it goes in, first thing we might do is question the goalkeeper. Yeah. And he's hit it he's hit it into the keeper's hand round his stomach as well.
8 minutes of added time, Paul. It's just what you said.
Yep.
And again, you know, in these situations, Paul, a lot of the fans will be saying, well, what's the point? I think we know where this game's going now. But the officials have to stick to it, don't they?
They certainly do. But even though we saw it, what West Ham done, getting themselves back into the game, get one,
it's
and they got
time.
one. Yeah,
it's enough time for Portsmouth to get to. I saw a cup tie right at the start of last season. It was the preliminary round of the League Cup, and only 2 teams had to play in it. Turned out it was Barnet and Newport County. Newport County were 2 up going into stoppage time, and Barnet scored twice, and it went to penalties.
I was watching last weekend. I was watching Hearts v Dundee United, and they. Dundee United. Was it Dundee United scored 2 goals within 2 minutes to win the game? I'm sure it was Dundee United.
Well, that reminds me of '99 in the Champions League final. But it would take something really for Portsmouth to do that. They're still, to be fair to them, John Mousinho's side, still playing some good stuff, and they're not backing down here. It's a great run, that snaking run into the penalty area from the right-hand side for the substitute Owen Kenny, and he's actually had 2 great opportunities since he's come on. The air shot from inside the penalty area, which if he connected with, you'd think would have been real trouble for West Ham, and that run into the area, maybe he was on his swinger there, Paul. I wonder.
It seemed like it by the way he struck it, but again, that was far too easy. And Scales on his side, I just worry sometimes in one against ones he's not very good, gets beaten too easy. And I think we have to say, while he's here, Juve will always play in front of him.
Yeah, and you know, there's only 1 year between them, but Diouf, of course, is a full international with Senegal, been to the World Cup. Very good player for West Ham to have in the Championship. And they'll do very well to hold on to him, Paul, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have been surprised if, you know, the vultures were circling for him as well.
Yeah.
That's a good tackle by Orford. And now Bowen is trying to break away. His counter is being stymied somewhat by Adams.
That's
had a handful of his shirt.
Generally, again, if we see in the other division, that's a booking.
Yeah, just purely for slowing up a counter-attacking opportunity.
And I just want to pull it. I got it wrong. It was Aberdeen.
Aberdeen,
1-0 down. 1-0 down, and they come back and won 2-1 late on.
They start incredibly early up there, don't they?
Yeah.
In Scotland.
But they're trying to beat the real cold weather.
Yeah, good points. I mean, I heard in the recent heat wave someone actually took their anorak off up there.
I wonder if they're having hydration breaks.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been pretty hot up there. Anyone will tell you.
What was it, 18?
Flick ball from Ward-Prowse up the right-hand side, and here comes a cross for West Ham. Is it going to run for Bowen? No, intercepted just before it reached the West Ham captain. But it might come back to him here. Tackle that, but it's a foul from West Ham, and it won't be another chance there for Bowen, just on the edge of the penalty area.
That was Veltman who put that in. I'm surprised that Veltman hit that in so early. There was no need for him to hit that ball in, even though he was in behind. Should have been looking to try and pick a pass.
West Ham unbeaten in their last 6 games against Pompey coming into this one. The last victory for Portsmouth was when they won 1-0 in the Premier League way back in April 2008. But haven't met Portsmouth for 14 and a half years till today, West Ham. So these two clubs reuniting really after a long time apart. This is a great run out from the back from Kilman, and it's a wonderful pass as well. Can they get the shot to add to it? Here it comes out to Bowen after Walker-Peters was denied, and Bowen can't put it in either. There's been a fourth in the offing maybe for West Ham here as Portsmouth will continue to try and come forward.
Yeah, and that was Silk Kilman there on that run forward, that foray forward. Knocks a lovely ball out to Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters' first touch took him wide. He made the angles easier for the keeper.
Here comes Portsmouth again. It's a dangerous cross right across the face of goal. Hermansen diving down, and it was in that kind of corridor of uncertainty, to borrow a phrase from cricket.
Again, they've got him
right
there.
Between defence and
They've
goalkeeper.
done that so many times, and he got him behind and put balls in. And again, they're going to get more of that in this league. It's not played the pretty boy football in the Premier League where the player will get there and then he'll step back and then make another pass or pull it in with his right foot or the left foot on opposite sides.
Burnley will be watching this.
Yeah,
sure.
they will just get behind and they will just deliver it early. That's what you do with West Ham. You'll look at the pace in the middle and you'll go, no, once you get in behind, just deliver the ball.
Looking down the 65 meetings they've had, these two, I think it was pretty much all square from my research. 26 wins apiece, 13 draws, but West Ham are going to shade it by the looks of things if they can close this out now, leading by 3-1.
I'm going to guess that a lot of the game, a lot of the win and the points and that were like in the 50s and 60s, was it?
Yeah, quite a way back. Obviously, as I say, they hadn't met for 14 and a half years coming into this one. Never met in the League Cup as well before today. A couple of meetings in the FA Cup in days gone by. Here's another shot from distance from, again, Segicic, the left-footed shot from the 22-year-old born in New South Wales, formerly of Sydney FC. He's had a pretty good day, but West Ham weathered, I wouldn't say a storm in that first half, but they were certainly second best. But they've come back strongly and shown their quality. Here goes Pablo breaking forward. He's been tackled there midway inside the Portsmouth half of the field. He's ended up in a heap on the turf, and Portsmouth will bring the ball forward. There's going to be one more change maybe if they've got time for West Ham. Olamide is just being readied on the touchline. As Portsmouth build in the middle of the pitch, we've got only 90 seconds to go here, so he won't have much to.
I don't think he's going to get on.
No, I'd be surprised as well. He'll need the player as well to be quick off the pitch, because otherwise that'll be the last minute before he even gets on. If what happens with Tati Castellanos when he came off happens again.
Oh, wow.
Foul given there against Maresi, although it wasn't a huge amount in it. And they are going to make the change, and it's going to be Jared Bowen who's going to come off, and the captain will get a great round of applause. They're so delighted that he's stayed on. And he's wearing 66, which, as was mentioned there, a great number in these parts. West Ham won the World Cup, didn't they, Paul?
Sorry, everyone keeps telling me.
Let's get across to the closing stages. Wimbledon against Newport County. Izzy Gilligan.
Yeah, the full-time whistler's gone, and it's AFC Wimbledon 1, Newport County 1. Wimbledon were down and out, it seemed, but they